Hello and welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is going to be our retro review for Extreme Rules 2017. I, of course, am Patrick Young. This man to my right is my co-host, Joe Venuto.
Extreme Rules 2017 took place at the Royal Farms Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. Commentators on June 4th, 2017. Commentators on Cole Booker T and Corey Graves. It's the night of Extreme, which is loosely translated as Night of Gimmicky Rematches. The main event is a fatal five-way for the future shot of Brock Lesnar Universal title, which came at the next month's Great Balls of Fire. The stories aren't the strongest this time around, so it's going to be most up to the in-ring action, so we'll get to it.
Yeah, this is literally like the Raw pay-per-view right before we started this whole thing.
Right. The opening sequence talks about things going Extreme, and how this is all about facing Brock Lesnar. You might remember him, even though you haven't seen him in 2 months at this point. We recap Miz versus Dean Ambrose. They feud on SmackDown late last year, but now they're both on Raw, so we'll just keep it going. Miz got shot the title, but Ambrose got disqualified, so this rematch. Intercontinental Miz versus Dean Ambrose. Ambrose is defending and can lose the title via DQ. They start slowly with a exchange of hammerlocks as they now told about this being Miz's 92nd pay-per-view match. For Miz. I'm pretty sure if I'm doing my math correctly, he probably broke 100 by now. In modern day. Current day, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A slap to the face annoys Ambrose. Say Hammer's away in the corner. Dean keeps cool and says Miz outside for a suicide dive, followed by a whip into the barricade. Things settle down as we make sure that the Extreme show doesn't get too intense. Another yell from the referee allows Miz to get on the apron DDT for 2. Neckbreakers go for the same, and Miz kicks him in the face for good measure. 3 corner run drop kicks and the running corner clotheslines Dean in trouble when Slow will punch Miz out of the air. Neither finish get hit, so Dean sends him outside for another dive. Back in, and Ambrose grabs a roll up for 2. Only to tweak his knee coming off the top. That means it's up to the 54 with Dean finally getting over for the rope break. Dean is crushed on top, and Miz pulls him away, taking a turnbuckle pad with him. The champ catches himself from sending Miz in a buckle, and Miz uses the distraction and some yes kicks. The big ones counter to figure 4 on Miz. Another rope grabbers go for the rake. They both limp on the bad leg for a slug out for a double knockdown before we finally get to the obvious idea, as Maurice slaps Miz. The referee says no and injects Maurice. They'll allow Dean to grab a roll for 2. Miz gets smart that says Dean to the referee, but that's still not on DQ. Instead, Miz is the skull personality for the pin at 20-2.
I did really like this match. Although it was kind of like at the tail end of a very long feud with them. Also, they kind of threw in a lot of things that didn't necessarily make sense, like Maurice had been standing out there the whole time and could have slapped Miz at any point. And also, it was a pretty lenient referee for the stipulation being someone loses the title if they get disqualified.
Yeah.
You think they'd be a little bit more strict, but I guess Rob Cohn decided.
John Cohn.
Yeah, John Cohn was just gonna be a little lenient that day. Overall, well worked match. Some of the false finishes with Dean almost getting disqualified kind of got bothersome by the end, but still, I thought very enjoyable match.
Yeah, I was happy with Miz getting the title back, but sweet goodness, they were waiting around until the gimmick played until the ending. The slap knockout was pretty obvious, but at least the DQ thing set the ending. The problem here is very similar. There's not much interest in these two have fighting again, because they did it for so long back in December of 2016 and January of 2017. But hey, at least Cena got a marriage proposal in there before they sent Miz right back to where he was a year prior first, right?
That is true. I give it a B+.
B. Bailey thinks Alexa Bliss was no Rock and Mankind, but she's been watching Tommy Dreamer, Sami, and Steve Blackman.
And by the way, during this segment, Bailey was getting booed.
Yes. To get ready for tonight. She also saw Wonder Woman and feels empowered to take the title back.
Oh, God.
Sasha Banks and Rich Swann versus Alicia Fox and Noam Dar. Swann gets a great hometown pop, with one fan in particular really seeming happy. Because they call, how do I know that? Because they cut to the one fan's reaction during the entrance. The woman start resulted Dar before anything can happen. That means Swann has to come in to kick Dar in the head bit before handing it back to Banks. The Banks statement has Fox in trouble until Dar pulls her to the ropes. Fox takes over on Sasha for a bit by no kick, allows a hot tag to Swann, who gets almost no reaction this time around. A royal flip famouser drops Dara and a spin kick to the face makes things even worse. Everything breaks down as Sasha has to double knees off the top to drop Dara on the floor. Back in and the Phoenix Splash ends that one at 6:23.
Yeah, this match had like no interest whatsoever. Maybe some cool spots with Sasha in the New Diara and Noam and Rich worked okay together. Other than that, I have no idea why this was on the show besides taking up time.
It was filler. Sure, I don't know what else you can call something like that. They have a 6-match card, and one of the matches gets less than 6.5 minutes. That being said, this was a match that should have gone any longer because there's no place on pay-per-view card. Also, why does Swan get to survive the hometown curse? That's why I got out of the match.
Probably because Alicia was on the other side.
Yeah, I know.
And literally, Dara's just over because Alicia falls. Yeah, you remember at that time. You're ashamed to admit it too. D+.
D+. The winner's dance. Elias Sampson all the time. Sings about how bad Baltimore is. This goes nowhere, but does manage to kill 3 minutes. We recap Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa kind of cheated to win the title last month. Then attacked Bayley with a kendo stick.
Alexa, shut up.
Then she attacked Bayley with a kendo stick. Tonight's a kendo stick on pole match. But the question is whether is Bayley capable of getting extreme. Women's title, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Bliss is defended and gets sent into the corner early on, only to send Bayley outside. She's too short to reach the stick though, which falls out to the floor instead. Belly to back suplex on the formation works for Bliss, and Bayley grabs the stick. And Graves says it's like she went from Prince Adam to He-Man. Bayley takes too much time, pulling the stick back down and gets speared down. I love Bliss to hammer away with the stick. The beating is coming with Bayley to belly, but Bayley can't follow up. More stick shots knock Bayley silly, and the DDT finishes off at 5:13.
I'm just going to start this by saying my grade for this match. And it's going to be an R. And this may not be the most politically correct, but go watch this match.
Racial.
No.
Okay.
Retarded.
Oh.
I know you have... I see your paragraph here. But why are you booking Bayley like... Why did they book Bayley like that?
She's never recovered.
No, she hasn't. Not one bit. She has not recovered from it.
She had potential when she turned heel middle last year, but then they dropped that too.
Yeah. From NXT, she could actually do things that were kind of extreme. She literally did some very intense stuff with Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
And got payback. Here, she can't. It takes her 20 fucking minutes to swing a single cane, only to get speared.
Match just 5 minutes.
Exactly. They did one about this in the worst possible way I've ever seen a match go. It may not have been the worst match I've ever seen, but booking wise, it's probably one of the worst decisions I've ever seen.
Just to recap, Bayley's the biggest star in NXT, and then he's booked like a huge loser in WWE. The fact that NXT was booked by Dusty Rhodes' protege, and WWE is booked by a creative team, has nothing to do with that, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't think the simplest idea in the world. Bayley is an underdog who gets eaten down but keeps coming back because she has heart and loves what she does. Need to be completely redone in a horrible way, or anything.
Even if you wanted Alexa to keep the title, you could have had her win a cheap way, but then Bayley still gets the cane and canes the shit out of Alexa. That was really the only way for that match to go. And not only did they do that, but the next 7 plans that would have been okay were also skipped over to get to the worst possible one for Bayley.
And then it's not like this was the peak of Bayley's worst booking, because it started when she debuted, because they just handed her the title almost right out the gate. Let her win an overbooked match at WrestleMania, and everything will be fine, because it's certainly not crazy for all. No, it's all on Bayley.
Yep. Talent can't get over.
Just like all those other hot prospects in NXT who just can't make it work for whatever reason on the main roster. All of them, of course. Declare us on the Rambling Mess. This was a horribly booked match. The whole idea was building towards Bayley's finding her inner anger and using a stick. They build it up well enough, and then nothing. She had one chance to swing Sting, and then Bliss just speared up to retain it. It was a short match. There was no late host spot. There was no comeback, and there was nothing for fans to get behind. This was just a step ahead of squash. And said something interesting. Which is the last month or two, a complete waste. Bliss looked great, but Bayley continues to be completely mishandled.
Yeah, after this match, Bayley looked like a complete geek. Which I know can be technically part of her gimmick, but in NXT she was, I don't know, like Aleister Black compared to what she is now.
Well, she's going to be in the Women's Tag Team Championship thing. If they remember it as this. For now, she's just Sasha's bodyguard to fight Ronda.
She's Sasha's best friend.
Yeah. Unlike Sasha, though, her reactions have actually gone down. Sasha still stays over, amazingly. It's not like her book is any better. But Sasha never got humiliated to this point, either.
No.
Sasha's problem on the main roster is they won't let her defend the championships at all. For some reason.
As soon as she defends one, she loses it.
Yep. That mention I really didn't like the rules creative at that point.
No. You still kind of don't.
Yeah. Tag team titles, Hardy Boys versus Cesaro and Sheamus. The Hardys are defending a cage, with both members needing to escape to win, meaning no pinfalls. Cesaro and Sheamus head for the Wolves, and the doors started, but the champs pulled them back in without much effort. A few whips in the cage, a few hardways in motion against the cage. The advantage is a last long Cesaro sends Jeff into the cage. Still to Orlando as Jeff makes the save. They trade some escape attempts to no avail until Cesaro actually owns Jeff. Sheamus misses the bro kick and gets caught in Max Tornado DT. Put all four down. The champs are first go up the cage, on that Cesaro and Sheamus make quick saves. Jeff actually manages to get to the floor, but that leaves Matt in a handicap match. The side effect drops Sheamus and Cesaro, and Cesaro's put down as well, but Matt can't escape just yet. Jeff tries to help, and he pulls him halfway over the top before Cesaro punches him down to the floor. That means Matt gets pulled back down the ring for a doubles razor's edge off the cage. That was a cool spot.
Yeah, it was.
Bro kick drops Jeff again, but Matt keeps Sheamus from escaping. Back-to-back twist of face allow Matt to get his laser top until Cesaro's uppercut. A super white noise knocks Matt silly, but here's Jeff to dive off the top of a whistle and win and take Sheamus and Cesaro down again. Matt gets up and drives Jeff's body towards the door as Cesaro and Sheamus go over the top at the same time. Matt's on the floor first. I have no idea why Jeff had to leave the cage again. Well, technically he was already safe though. Allows Cesaro and Sheamus to drop down one of the titles. For actually, what was a face pop though at 15 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yeah. To me, I really did like this match, but there's kind of some logic gaps in there to me. If both guys had to get out, there are plenty of times where all you have to do is stop one partner from getting out, beating the crap out of him, keeping the other guy out, and then both of you walking out the door.
Yeah.
Just kind of some logic gaps like that, but enjoyable, very enjoyable match.
Yeah. And well, it's just, the ending doesn't make sense to me anyway, but that's what's so fun.
Yeah.
A man and Jeff escape first. If Jeff escape is like rescinded for going back in. Never heard that one before.
Unforgiven with Edge and Christian and the Hardys.
That was our rule. I can tell you that.
Was it? But wasn't it an escape?
Yeah, but wasn't a rule that Jeff...
I know Jeff came back in.
Yeah, but Jeff had to leave the cage again.
Oh.
Matt Long had to leave the cage.
God damn it.
Actually, no, Jeff didn't come back in. Jeff was in the match when he did the whisper in the way.
No, I thought he was outside the cage.
Was it?
I thought so.
Wait, hold on.
I thought he was outside the cage.
Well,
Edge Christian kept him out.
Yeah, but he had to stay back. He had to climb out or escape to win. But anyway, that's not the worst thing in the world, and at that point, it's fine. Cesaro and Sheamus as champions. Imagine saying that to like 6 months prior to that.
Yeah.
Cesaro, like in December 2016, Cesaro and Sheamus as champs. You were fine with. They've really gelled as a tag team over the course of that whole storyline. And they're still together 3 years later. And they had to get the titles on Matt and Jeff somehow, likely without pinning them. So the match being good always helps it.
I gave it a B.
B. We recapped the Cruiserweight title match. Austin Aries has lost to Neville twice in a row, both times via some shenanigans. So there's a submission match with Aries coming on Bailey, though did make Neville tap and tag match on Raw. Cruiserweight title, Neville versus Austin Aries. Aries shouted a submission match, feeling out process start. When Neville worked on the armbar, decided to tape up neck or band knee. Aries smacks him in the back and hits a slingshot heel low. On that, Neville built him forward to escape the ledge chancery. Back up, and Aries tweaks his knee, coming with the ropes to get Neville target. A dragon screw lays whip has laid in trouble, but Aries hits a few shin breakers with a good leg. The neck breaker across the ropes is broken off, and Aries might have hurt his arm when it landed, it looked like. The arm is fine enough for Aries to take down his leg out again. Grab him figure four until Neville makes ropes. Ignore this being a submission match show, because bringing the rope shouldn't be a break.
Yeah, it shouldn't actually.
By the way, that's not just as a match. As you can say, just about every gimmick match for all to understand the full concept of the actual gimmick.
No.
The reason Sarah goes on Aries in the middle of the ring, but I guess his feeling to the rest of the number. Now as Aries grabbing his own rings of Sarah, on that Neville grabbed the referee. There's a threat of a DQ. I don't know why in a submission match. So Aries lets go to tell the referee not to do it. Neville gets a super kick and pull Aries on top like his corner sunset bomb. The last transfer goes on by Neville curls to the floor. Owens out the wholesale and Neville taps it on the field because the fall is in the ring. That makes sense. Aries does the suicide dive in, the stem crash to the floor. Back in, the right arrow hits Aries backs out the rings to make Aries happen 17-23.
Yeah, I thought this was a pretty good match. Kind of also sad in a way because instead of Aries being the one to finally dethrone Neville, it was Enzo.
Right.
But these two I thought worked very well in a stipulation that to me a lot of times is not actually all that exciting. It's more like a lot of waiting for a guy to either tap or get out of a hold.
Yeah.
To me. Still a very good match and a very strong match from the Cruiserweights, which again didn't get much attention.
These two were far ahead of everybody else in the division at the time, clearly.
Yeah.
They're through strings of pay-per-view matches. I did growl at the referee while I was watching this match. Because he wouldn't stop with the DQ thrust. This is a freaking submission match, you stupid people. It was really entertaining stuff. But also, it had to be the finish of the feud. Aries lost every single time. And now he had lost as clean as you can get a match like this, which still showed up disqualifications.
Yeah.
But they need to let me over now. I think the next feud was Tozawa, if I'm not mistaken. Or someone else, but I think it was Tozawa.
Yeah, it was Tozawa and then it was Neville. Tozawa, then Enzo.
Okay.
I gave it a B.
B+. Great Balls of Fire ad of the 1950s theme, because that's the best I can come up with. Legend Toes, the fast takes place of Great Balls of Fire.
Funnily enough, that was actually a very good pay-per-view.
I know.
So good that we actually reviewed it twice.
We recapped the Fatal 5-Way, which is really happening because Braun Strowman's injured. And we need a number one contender. Carl put 5 guys in a singles match with the winner facing Lesnar next up. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt versus Samoa Joe. Winner is Brock next month. Waffle finish on Anything Goes. Is a big rule of Reigns being left alone in the ring until Bray Wyatt comes in and keep him from being lonely. Wyatt is caught in the middle of the rope for a Samoan drop. Followed by one of Joe for good measure. Balor sends Reigns to the floor, leaving Bray come back in and beat on Rollins and Joe. The first stay outside for a big foot dive from Balor, only to have Reigns send him in the barricade. Joe breaks up the apron drop kick to Wyatt and sends Reigns into the steps. There's much else to do here other than with soft moves, as is often in case of a match like this one. Yeah. Wyatt and Joe get together, hit people with steps, including a shot to Reigns, which trolls some salt cheers. They officially make a deal and take over on Balor inside, as Corey was waiting for one of them to turn on each other. Seth starts to come back, but gets DDT on the Cesar's effort. Bray grabs a chair and clean shots again until he and Joe take turns. Backsplash the chair on the Balor. Joe finally misses a charge into a chair, and Bray misses a crossbody, allowing Reigns to remember that he's in the match. Roman gets to respect the house cleaning segment until Bray takes him outside for a rock bottom onto the table. Now as Rollins come back with springs more clothes on Wyatt, followed by a double blockbuster to Bray and Joe. Things seal with Rollins lit up a suicide dive to Bray, who pulls Joe into the pin instead. Back in, and Sister Abigail planks Rollins on that Joe break out and start the inevitable fight with Bray. Balor comes back in the chair, break up with a clean clutch before dropping and kicking everyone in sight. It was time to load the announce table while Reigns comes back with a spear to drive Balor and Joe for the barricade. Seth is back up with a frog splash to drive Bray through the table, but stays down holding his knee. The knee is fine enough for him to stand up for a steer down Reigns. As the chair's on the ring, quick Superman punch just Roman 2, followed by Seth's low super kick and the same. Another frog splash gets through, but here's Bray for a field. Six Abigail attempts on both guys. Roman spears Bray down, hits Rollins with another Superman punch. Balor takes on his own, but still comes out with a shotgun dropkick and a coup de grace. Doesn't matter about it. Joe comes back with the Kikini clutch on Balor for the win at 29 minutes and 10 seconds.
I thought this was a really fun match.
Was my match of the night.
Yeah, my match of the night as well. All 5 guys got a great spot to shine. They were all given a lot of cool moments to do. And they were peppered evenly throughout, I thought, too. Very nice paced, very good match.
WWE figured out a gimmick for once. Raw figured out a gimmick for once that night.
They got one.
Yeah.
It took them a couple times, but they got one.
Yeah. I think I was okay with Joe versus Lesnar, so. This was a way better match than I was expecting. With the extra time doing a lot of favors. They had all 5 looking strong with the Bray Joe lines working fine for a story during the match. Joe wins a good idea so he could get a rope from working with Lesnar, which he did. Despite having only a big man that Lesnar works with, you know. Despite having almost no chance to actually beat him. I had a great time with this one. The ending was a very good call.
I gave it an A-.
Overall?
Overall, I gave it a B+. It was really a solid show, minus like that 20-minute period with the mixed tag and the women's match, which that women's match may have been one of the more atrocious things I've ever seen. But other than that, I thought this pay-per-view was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
The cage match was a lot of fun. The main event was a hell of a lot of fun too. And even the opening, I thought was fun. Had it been booked a little better, I probably could have even stretched into the A- territory, even with its lacking matches. But still a very fun show and would recommend.
Yeah, I give it a B+ as well. It was actually a heck of a show, albeit one that's not going to be anything if they're the next time roll. But that's a common problem with WWE, so not surprised to see it continue. The idea of having a title match to build towards is a nice change of pace for Roll, and it should help the Roll a lot. Add to that, a lot of really solid wrestling. Only the Bayley versus Bliss match was really bad, which is due to the booking instead of the action or lack thereof. And you have a much better show than I ever will, guys. Our next pay-per-view for next week.
Oh, no.
WCW.
Well, I guess it's convenient. I've actually been watching the 83 Weeks podcast for
WCW.
this pay-per-view.
WCW sold out in 1997.
Yep.
We'll be right back once I get the car up.
Yes.
Alright, we're back. NWO, or WCW, NWO, whoever sold out in 1997. This card. Masahiro Chono versus Chris Jericho.
Which I think could have been okay, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Mexican Deathmatch, Big Bubba Rogers versus Hugh Morris.
There is no Mexicans.
Singles match. Jeff Jarrett versus Michael Wall Street.
Yeah, I know. Just so exciting.
I was just curious, what does that match have to do with NWO? I forgot Michael Wall Street, IRS was in the NWO. Not strap match, singles match. Buff Bagwell versus Sky Riggs, that could be good. Singles match, Scott Norton versus Diamond Dallas Page. WCW World Tag Team title match, the Steiner Bros versus the Outsiders, that can be good.
Yeah.
WCW United States Heavyweight title ladder match, Eddie Guerrero versus Six, that can be good.
I remember that match being pretty good.
And the main event, WCW World title match, Iowa Hogan versus the Giant, that can be very good.
Don't kid yourself.
Well, they're both good workers.
Not in WCW.
Okay. It has a in the middle ring on cage match by the fans.
It's a 3.43.
In the middle.
That's not in the middle.
Close to the middle, like 1.6.
You can't even round it up to 4.
Yeah, I know.
They're round down.
To the 3. Well, look at his average rating for 2018. A 2.33. Hot damn. Wait, who was drunk and gave it a 6 in 2013 and 2015? It's very rich reviews. This could be a very good show. That'll be coming to you. We'll celebrate Martin Luther King's Day with that.
Yes.
He had a good dream and we have a nightmare. And not the nightmare of the American kind. I'm punny tonight.
Yeah.
The rolls going to suck. Alright. So.
Time to get drunk.
We'll see you on Friday with Roll Side to Live NXT. Maybe NXT UK. Not sure about that one. Reviews. And
if there's one up this week.
yeah, for NXT UK, that's why. As I said that.
Not like we're taking it out.
Right, yeah. If there is one. And past punishment review.
Yes.
Of Survivor Series 1988, which I'm still trying to figure out why I picked that. So, while we figure that out, we'll see you on Friday.
Yes, we will.
Bye.
See you then.